This is your man, Dusty Rose, the son of a plumber, the American dream, telling you, it'd be ever so sweet if you listen to that One Fall podcast. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, baby.
Welcome again to One Fall podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Bell, the overweight cruiserweight. Joining me, sexy ass lottery, Callum McInnes.
Now then.
The proverbial Crimson Mask, James Coggin.
Now then.
And making his return, although you didn't realise that last week, so you weren't here, the African Swede sensation, Kurt Johansson.
Hello, hello.
Now, all the introductories aside, let's get into the talking points. We did our predictions last week.
We're starting with TakeOver.
We'll start with TakeOver.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it was a solid show, top to bottom.
Fantastic show.
Probably one of my favourite takeovers. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think there was a bad match on that card.
Not one.
You know, it was a good takeover when McIntyre and Rude's the worst card on the match, and that match was still great.
Yeah, that match was great.
Worst card on the match.
Worst match on the card.
Worst card, oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, Jamie, we were talking before, Gargano versus Almas.
I had legit goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I'm not even exaggerating, I had legit goosebumps.
What an awesome match.
It was fantastic.
For an opener as well, that could have been the main event. It was such good match quality.
Yeah.
And
you called it.
Yeah, I said last week, I'm sure Ciampa will play some kind of role in the match, and with what's her name, Kurt? It's
Mrs. Aries.
Mrs. Aries, what's her name?
Thea Trinidad.
Thea Trinidad, yeah, she threw the DIY t-shirt into the ring, distracted Gargano, Almas got the win.
Yeah.
It plants the seeds for Ciampa's return down the line, which I'm guessing they're going to have a match at TakeOver WrestleMania. I think that I can see that's where it's going.
He's due back around that time.
Yeah.
And I think I said to you, we said, didn't we, it's going to be a case of Gargano just can't get over the heartbreak.
Yeah.
Until he beats him.
Yeah, and once he's beaten him, he can move on. But that gives us like a few months of solid storytelling.
And that's the thing as well. It's nice, simple, easy to understand storytelling. You don't need to make it complicated, and you can make it so effective.
Absolutely.
And just a shout out for Almas as well, who I think doesn't get enough credit.
He's fantastic, especially, Thea Trinidad, she's Zelina Vega?
Yeah.
So I think that's her new persona in NXT. I think them two as a duo now, Almas will be the best he's ever been.
It was the missing ingredient for Almas, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's such a talented guy. He was La Sombra, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah,
and he was so over in Mexico, and he's just been missing that one thing in NXT, and I think that could complete the package. But
he seems to be the guy that they put guys to go against because he's going to make them look good.
Yeah, it's same with like Ty Dillinger used to be.
Yeah,
he used to be
he's
the guy.
Workhorse.
Yeah.
He's that workhorse that lifts everyone up.
Yeah, and hopefully now it's time for him to get a bit of a shine as well. What was the next match on the card? It was
Tag
titles. Even that was a really good match.
Like, I couldn't have called the finish on that. I didn't think that Sanity would be able to pull it out, but I guess
I'm sure you guys called Sanity last week.
No, I called Authors of Pain because I didn't think that Sanity needed the win, because I thought that they were interesting enough. But lo and behold, the match aside, the storytelling going on in that, post match, everything kind of went on its head. But that match though.
So what did we think to the swerve of Eric Young coming in instead of...
And that was brilliant.
That was absolutely awesome.
No disrespect to Desmond Wolfe, but wouldn't you have dropped him and kept Killian Dane in?
Desmond Wolfe?
Desmond Wolfe.
What's his name? Sorry. Alexander
Wolfe. There you go. That's karma for
he was commentating on the match.
That's karma. That's karma. There we go. I deserve that. But would you not have took Alexander Wolfe out of the match and get Killian Dane in?
Oh, it works soundly for him, really, didn't it? Keeping Eric Young in. Tag team champions.
Yeah. And Authors of Pain, potential
caller.
Or SmackDown.
I'd stick him on Raw, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
Powerhouse tag team.
Yeah.
But I think a tag team like that need the titles quickly. They can't do too much messing about. They need to protect them. And with Ambrose and Rollins reuniting at SummerSlam, which we'll get in, winning the tag titles. Are they really going to go take the belts off them that quickly? I think SmackDown we've got more of a chance of
like steamrolling the competition.
Yeah.
Maybe. But Paul Ellering, they're definitely trying to position him in the slot of the Road Warriors and this just unstoppable force that never lose and they're always over. But they're heels because you've got Paul Ellering. That's the simple case of it. So it's a bit of an odd one. Maybe SmackDown would be a better.
Yeah. I mean, does SmackDown have a powerhouse tag team?
Not that I can.
Well, they've got the Ascension, who are supposed to be a powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, a powerhouse tag team that people take seriously.
Could be if it is Eric Rowan and Luke Harper that have been attacking Breeze.
True.
That's
True.
I still think it is.
That would be
Well,
an interesting
that'd be a
feud
great
of like the
match.
horses,
Yeah.
4 horses.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Harper and Rowan versus
Yeah.
the Office of Pain.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd see that. But then after the match with the Office of Pain and Sanity, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish debuted.
It's the Red Dragon.
Yeah, I popped for that. I didn't think they'd put them as a tag team so quickly. And obviously it unfolded later on in the night, which we'll get to. I can see a tag team title run in their future very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, they've conquered every division that they've gone to, so every company's trusted them to be their tag team, and especially the way that they seem to be going down, it seems Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, it's going to be a good.
But do you see now Sanity moving into more of a tweener role maybe, or?
I think there's a gimmick like that,
Because
they're tweeners anyway.
Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are obviously going to be heels after what we saw. So.
But there was already in that tweener role going in against
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a full-blown face turn then, or stick as tweeners?
Well, I mean, I think the swerve of Eric Young stepping in was like see, it is something that you weren't expecting, and it wasn't like a pulling the wool over your eyes. It was more of a we've got tricks up our sleeve in a good way. It was this constant. You think you've sussed us, but here we go.
Yeah.
And that's something seemingly heelish, but again it was like involving Nikki Cross in the spot, putting through the table and stuff like that. It's
That was
good. That's face stuff.
Yeah.
That is face stuff. Like it got Nikki Cross involved as well, which is something that I said as well. The fact that you're covering all bases. Authors of Pain are immediately going to lend themselves to heel heat hitting a woman.
Yeah.
It just I think they're definitely shifting on the scales from tweener more into face territory, and especially if they've got to fight off this new kind of aggressive pop out of nowhere style tag team. It's
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like they're transitional champions in a way. Like, how do we get the titles from the Office of Pain to Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish? Give it to Sanity. Let Sanity have a good reign first. But I
think it'd be a bit more believable in terms of how each team look if Fish and O'Reilly could take the belts off Sanity as opposed to Fish and O'Reilly taking the belts of Authors of Pain, because it's like twice their size. And
exactly.
A lot of the the internet was complaining when Bobby Fish and O'Reilly originally debuted in losing matches to Aleister Black, and I was like,
the internet complained.
exactly.
Oh, no.
I was like, it doesn't matter. It's just one singles match, and now everybody's forgetting about that because they're a tag team.
Yeah.
And they're going to be running in, I'm guessing, the main storyline in NXT for future programming. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll do in NXT.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Army Black. I thought it was going to be the show stealer, but it turns out the opening match was the show stealer.
On any other show that I'd have stolen the show, but it was such a stacked card.
Yeah.
It was. But
I think they did well. It was a good match.
I honestly saw Itami winning. I said last week Itami's going to win.
I
was
didn't.
wrong.
No.
They seem to have big plans for Aleister Black, don't they?
If I was here, I'd have slapped you and said you're silly.
Yeah, well, you thought John Cena was going to win, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, you thought that, yeah.
So,
yeah.
We'll get into that later.
What an idiot. The fancy thinking that, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, really solid match.
Yeah. Shout out I know it wasn't like the best match on the card, but just a shout out to Code Orange as well, because that live entrance for Aleister Black was out as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the best live entrances. That was up there for me with Motorhead with Triple H. That was that good.
That's high praise from you.
I think that was
the biggest
Motorhead
fan I know.
Yeah, that was that good. That was really good. And I think there's big plans for Aleister Black. I think they see something in him, which in it we all do.
Yeah, I like he's a man of no words as well. Like he's a great talker. especially with like this cryptic character that he's got, a bit like a Bray Wyatt kind of character, I imagine.
He says a lot without having to.
Yeah, he doesn't need to talk, does he?
Some guys don't talk and they're just boring. But
he just the way he looks and looks at it, it's like, yeah, you could kill me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't fight you. I'll just lay down in the ring and you just pin me, mate. It's alright.
Yeah, hopefully they'll have another lock-ons again. But I think where it was in the card as well, it might be in a case of look, don't go out there and do everything you can do. Coming off that tag match, and Asuka and Ember Moon had big builds. So I think that might have been the
possibly.
Right, come on, you need to kind of calm down the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
So then Ember Moon and Asuka can get.
Which is a real shame as well, because I mean it's hard to believe that the matches on the card would have nothing but raucous applause. I mean, you know, but everyone was stoked to see if Ember Moon could dethrone Asuka.
I thought she would.
Like whether or not the crowd needed riling up or like a moment to breathe is kind of irrelevant. We've all been to live events. We know it can be exhausting being in the crowd and being so pumped for so long. But yeah, it's just weird to think that Itami and Black
is the cool down match.
Yeah, it's a cool down match. That's your breather. It's what kind of a world do we live in when those two? Just chill out.
It was still a good match though.
Oh yeah,
really hard hitting match.
Speaking of Moon and Asuka, what a match! I called it wrong. I said Moon.
I said Moon.
You said Moon.
I thought Asuka.
Oh, good. We'd have agreed last week then.
Because I was always saying if they're gonna be bringing Asuka up and they've been saying of how unbeatable she is and this run and making her lose to Ember Moon and then going on to Raw and SmackDown and as if I'm this unbeatable force. No. The NXT Women's Champions that unbeatable.
They have got a get out of jail free card now though with Asuka. Now she's injured. They could vacate the title. She could move up having it still being undefeated.
That's probably what they're gonna have to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I personally, I was getting a bit bored of it. I thought it's gone on too long, but I do see your your argument.
We're always complaining that title reigns aren't long enough nowadays.
True.
And then when we finally have one, it gets boring.
Yeah.
So
it's true. Yeah, that's it. We want our cake and to eat it too. But I think some people I've seen online that've been noting that was it 8 or 9 weeks? Yeah. Was it that Asuka's supposed to be out of a broken collarbone?
6 to 8 or something, was it?
And apparently I'm not a doctor, I don't know how long particular recoveries take to heal, but a lot of people have said that seems like too short a time for that kind of a recovery. Like some people have had broken arms, broken legs, they've been out for 6, 8, 9, 12 months.
I have broken my collarbone. It did take about 6 weeks to heal. The difference is I wasn't getting straight back into the ring.
Exactly, and you would think as well with the way that they have their medical team and their like safeguarding for like health concerns that it would be an additional 2 or 3 weeks of in-ring recuperation as well. So this could be the perfect way that they're segueing the title off of her. Oh, your 30-day no-compete clause.
Yeah.
We're going to have to vacate it. It all lines up with the Mae Young Classic. Any upstarts that are going to maybe shine in the Mae Young Classic, moving on to NXT potentially, and then becoming in contention.
Let the Mae Young Classic winner get the title.
Yeah.
That would be quite a big statement.
I mean, I read an interview the other day with Triple H, and I can't remember who he did an interview with, and apparently Asuka was the one person he asked Vince not to take off him for the main roster.
Yeah, I heard that.
So is he going to want her to come back to NXT?
I think in this case, he'd see it as a good opportunity for Asuka and just have to think, right, well, she's got to go up at some point. Let's try and make something of the Mae Young Classic winner. Whoever that is, I'm sure they've got a replacement for Asuka somewhere in that division.
They've got a few hard-hitting women in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shayna Baszler, one of the UFC 4 horsewomen.
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane as well, who could be the ideal replacement for Asuka in the NXT. And then even Toni Storm, I think Toni Storm could be great.
So do we all think she's going to come back main roster after injury?
It's looking likely.
I'm not sure, but I think it's a great way to get the title off of her through kind of legitimate reasons, like she's got beef with the future champion because she never lost it, you know, that kind of thing. So it makes sense storyline wise to me.
Yeah, main event. Before we discuss it, Callum, tell me about the entrance.
I absolutely love Drew McIntyre's entrance. It's one of my favourites I've seen on any takeover. Even Shinsuke Nakamura's, when he came out of those pipers and they were playing into it. he just looked like a complete badass leading an army to war.
Yeah.
And I was sold from then. I was already sold on McIntyre with that finish off me. I wanted to see him win, and he did.
Yeah. He does seem to have everything that they want, doesn't he? Height,
Yeah.
He's got the look, he can talk.
Well, he said all that himself when he first went back to Independence.
Yeah.
And appeared in ICW and did that little promo, and it's good to see that Qui's time is now on top of the pyramid in NXT, and hopefully, especially with the person that joined the roster at the end of the show, hopefully McIntyre won't be down there for too long, because I think
Yeah, I can see that.
it might be one where they're like, actually, let's fast track him up there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So they
Match itself,
I thought the match was great. Yeah.
great match.
Bobby Roode's entrance was glorious as well.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
Yeah, I mean.
Another guy who just looks like $1 million, you know.
And did we say last week that we thought we were going to bring Bobby Roode up to the main roster?
Yeah,
I
SmackDown as
believe
well.
we did.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll save that
yeah.
for SmackDown, but yeah, we called that one.
Yeah, and I've been itching for months for Benjamin to re-debut on SmackDown after they aired those vignettes. Unfortunately, all that time ago he couldn't because he had a lingering injury that he needed to make sure he was recuperated from. Lo and behold, there he is in a tag team, ready to compete next week. I am over the moon.
I don't think we'll get into it later, but I don't think there'll be.
I'm
a
saying
tag
the
team
Benjamin
for
heel turn.
Benjamin heel turn?
Yeah.
Mm.
But we're going off a bit. The end of the match. We know McIntyre won. We call McIntyre.
The match was great.
What happened after the match is what?
Yeah.
Did anyone want to do the impression?
We've been
Kurt,
waiting
you're a
for
big
it.
Adam Cole. You're wearing an Adam Cole
I'm wearing
t-shirt
the-
right now, so do you want to do it?
It looks like Terry
Come
Funk.
on, come on,
Come
Kurt.
After coming off with tonsillitis, I don't think I could do it justice right now.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby!
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Kurt, with your Adam Cole
there goes
/
my pro.
Terry Funk looking t-shirt.
Nice.
So Adam Cole finally debuts in
I think we were
NXT.
all waiting for that, weren't we?
Yes.
You know, it was coming.
But I said it as well when we've been in the pub chatting and stuff. I was like, I'm sick of a debut by sitting by ringside. I was saying
Yeah.
Rude's probably going to go up, have him attack somebody, have him set up a storyline. And they did the whole thing as well with fishing around. It's like, okay, maybe not Adam Cole. And then all you hear is fans getting excited, and then there he is, Adam Cole in the ring. And the fact that they're putting Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly.
Is it a straight replacement for Rude? Rude goes up to the main roster, put Cole in that top
Absolutely.
heel position.
Yeah.
Well, it quashed my idea, but I did mention last week about the whole, if Roderick Strong won his match and he beat McIntyre, and then setting up for the triple threat, and then Rude losing because of the triple threat, he's technically getting his rematch, but he's not, and all that kind of stuff. I guess it was too complicated. It was adding too many different elements to it, where it's just a clear, straight. No, here we go. We've got the not even interference. We've got the attack at the end. There's no reason for him to stick around anymore.
But he is. So after the show, Roderick Strong decided to blow Bobby Roode a kiss. So supposedly, even though he's on SmackDown, Bobby Roode's still going to be on NXT for the foreseeable few weeks.
Do you think that's going to be his send-off though?
Yeah, so it's a case of, in kayfabe terms, he's wanting to get his title back. So I imagine he's going to be facing McIntyre, maybe in the Full Sail crowd, and he wants the match with Roderick Strong because of the whole blowing him a kiss as he just lost the belts. I think.
It'd be nice to put Strong over before he goes.
It would be.
Strong get that win.
Strong does need a bit of momentum behind him.
And that's the thing as well. If it was a triple threat,
well, they could do a triple threat now.
Yeah, if it was the triple threat, Rude doesn't have to take a pinfall, but he could that way. But then who do you decide who wins the pinfall? Because if it's for the title, then McIntyre has to win.
Yeah.
But if Rude takes the pinfall, it makes him look weak. But it doesn't make him look weak because he lost to two other people. So there's all this. It's the same thing as the main event of SummerSlam, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
There's this kind of power play and a hierarchy, even though there's more than two people. You know, it's more than just black and white. So there's all kinds of ways that this could kind of pan out if they do a triple threat or a multi-man match or two individual matches over the course of the next few weeks. I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Shall we talk SummerSlam?
Yeah, we can move
I think
on
we've got a takeover. Fantastic show, start to finish.
Before we move on, it might be worth noting as well regarding NXT, Leo Rush.
Leo Rush.
It's been announced that he's signed, so former Ring of Honor, Evolve, so it should be interesting to see what he'll do within the next set of tapings to see what Leo Rush will bring to the table.
Here's a perfect debut. Powerbomb the arrogant little prick through a table and make him sell it and stretch it out for 6 fucking months. Prick.
Make it seem like it was his idea.
I don't care if it wasn't.
Did you see the video, James?
No, I can't say I didn't.
Leo Rush was working CZW and he was on top of a ladder and got powerbombed through a table.
Wow.
Leo Rush stood straight up and then ran at the guy, but then got power driven.
Ultimate Warrior cell.
Oh, no, like Triple H, WrestleMania level.
Yes.
Oh my
Straight
god.
back up. No sell, but then didn't he then take another powerbomb and sold that one? Or he took another move afterwards?
He took a power driver straight
But sold that.
But did he kick out? I'm not too sure, but yeah. He's a great worker, but apart from that,
yeah.
What would Jim Cornette say?
Motherfucker! That's what he'd say. Goddamn no selling a powerbomb through a table, motherfucker!
No, it's like he's here in the room with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I don't want to bring up a very minor point before we move on. I don't know how everybody else feels, but this is something that I noticed when I was watching the main event. How does everybody feel about McIntyre's finisher, the Claymore?
I like it, but it depends who is selling the move, I find. It looks really impactful at times, but if it's just a glancing blow, it doesn't look any different to regular kicks that he throws.
Yeah,
he's a 6'7",
yeah,
built-up guy with a bit of pace behind.
It's the same as Big Cass with his big boot. You go, yeah, if I was going to get hit in the face by anyone, he is going to knock me for shit. But I have noticed, and it's the same as everybody. There are so many people now. I guess it's because they're safe, but there are a lot of DDTs or variation on DDTs for finishes, and there's a lot of like running knees or running boots or just running kind of kick strikes that seem to dominate the finish, of matches. And three-quarters of the roster have got some kind of DDT or running strike, and for me, I know it's because of health and safety, and especially in the Fed, but it'd be nice to see more unusual types of moves and maybe more unique submissions, because is it just me, or is there's just not enough subs anymore in wrestling? I marked out when Neville brought back the Rings of Saturn.
One of your favourite finishing moves.
Absolutely, and the way that he delivers it as well, it looks like he's trying to pull your arms out of the sockets. It's so vicious, but it's controlled. It's the same with the calf killer. The movement with that, something as simple as an ankle lock, when Angle was using that, I want to see more of that. Not necessarily submissions, but just unique ways of setting people up into moves, because then with everyone seeing powerbomb reversals, everyone's seeing reversing the Walls of Jericho, sharpshooter, all these different finishes. If you have new moves, you have new reversals and interesting and innovative ways of reversing and getting into them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does baffle me that most people on the roster don't have a submission which they'll go to. When you have to think of it if this was a real fight, you would still try and submit your opponent at some points, because it is a way to win.
And it's a key of wrestling. It's very Greco-Roman. It's catch as catch can. It's no kicks, no punches. It's I'm going to outmaneuver you to win. Because if I can't get you down for a 3 count, I'm going to make you tap.
James, there needs to be more back submissions.
Yeah, but that's just me. I think it brought it home when I realised, the Claymore, big move, no denying it, but I want to see more. Not just from him, but it was. I think it was the exchange between him and Rouge, exchanging DDTs.
Yeah,
you're exchanging the same move.
Yeah, we quite we like the technical side, don't we? We're
Oh yeah, we went over our Rushmore, and there was a lot of technicality in our choices. So.
Mine had been a complete opposite, because I'm a sucker for the sports entertainment and the story. To me, the in-ring works.
Have you been sports entertainment?
Yeah, the in-ring works fine at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm not sure the in-ring works, but I do like to see more, submission work.
Yeah, and I think that this just comes from
work on a body part and then.
It's simple psychology. If you've got a submission and you're working a leg, or you're working an arm, or you're working the shoulder, then you've got something. Your story.
You build into something.
Yeah, your match is a story building to that. Can I actually utilise what I've been building on?
I 100% agree with you on that.
But that's just me complaining about something that really just kind of skims over
Well, if you
everyone
want to
else's
complain,
head.
let's complain now
Yeah.
about SummerSlam, right? Because once again, TakeOver blew it out of the fucking water for me. So, pre-show.
Well, okay.
Let's quickly run through the pre-show.
Let's go through SummerSlam quite quickly, but just go through the points out of the night that we thought stood out. And there was one on the pre-show. The tag match was fucking awesome.
There's two for me. So before that one, I think the fact that Miz was opening up for a couple of hundred people, if that, was absolutely disgusting.
That was the arena's fault, apparently, not WWE's.
But not being able to let enough people.
But why is every title being defended but it got that title? The prestige behind that belt.
Not just that. Even if they kept the match, the fact that they was opening up that show at the pre-show that early, where they know full well fans aren't going to be there. You've got the Hardy Boys that have just returned, but Miz has been the best worker for the past year and a half, the most consistent worker.
Yeah.
And I liked how he redeemed himself later on Raw, with like Barclays Centre, nice to see you full, and
I heard that the Barclays Centre opened the doors when the show started, opposed to opening them an hour before.
Yeah, of course.
So you can't really blame that on the WWE. But it did suck that the Miz and the Hardys, etc., had to wrestle in front of maybe 5 people. It just seems surreal.
Tag titles.
The
chemistry of them two teams is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that they are fire. Like New Day, I mean, they've what can't they do?
Yeah.
But more so the Usos. This gimmick change. This is injected.
Simple, what a heel turn
so
does.
much.
Simple heel turn, and now look at them. Yeah.
Just
like
awesome. Unfortunately, I still can't tell you which one's Jay and which one's Jimmy.
Yeah, we were having this discussion, wasn't
we?
We just couldn't get it right.
We just can't get it right. But one's nailing Naomi. Good for
At
him.
least when you had face paint, you had left and right Uso. Now you've just got both the same.
Yeah.
they still tend to stand on the left and the right.
Well, can you tell us which one's left, which one's right?
Jimmy, Jay.
He pointed left to right.
Right, yeah.
So
cheers.
Whoever listening there.
Thanks,
yeah.
Jimmy'd be on the left, Jay on the right. I think Jay's got, I don't know, it's weird, like I can tell.
The thing is, one was fatter than the other, and now they're both in shape.
Now they're both in shape.
Yeah, but I think Jay's still the bigger one, like in the face, like he's the bigger one, and that's the one that's.
Who's the one that's married to Naomi?
That's the one that's married to Naomi.
Jay.
Yeah.
See, now they look alike.
No, Jimmy.
If Jimmy's married to Naomi, if I was Jay, I'd be trying to get in there. They're coming home from work. See what the difference?
Yeah.
Typical Jay.
Twin magic.
Macrude comment.
Anyway, cooking aside, what was the next match on the card that we all wanted to talk about?
Can we just throw in as well with the cruiserweight? Like, what was the complete and utter point in taking the belt off Neville?
Well, to make the match.
That's just stupid.
No, because to be fair, if that match was there, I'd be like, yeah, Neville's gonna win.
Well,
but you've ended a perfectly good title run. He's been dominant for months.
Whether it's
and
true or
months.
not, I did hear on PW Insider that it was just because Vince turned up to Raw and was like, I want to do something for TV. And
let's shock the world.
The idea was we just take the Cruiserweight title off Neville to give the live crowd something.
Yeah.
There was no logic behind that.
But nobody expected Neville to get it straight back, so at least.
I did.
Yeah, they did.
We did.
You called it.
Yeah.
We
all
called it.
Yeah.
I said Tozawa.
Yeah.
And you two called Neville.
Yeah.
So it can't have been that.
Yeah.
Well, for you guys.
Wow. Just a little side note: Enzo debuted on 205 Live at the end. Challenged Neville. Is this Enzo's last chance?
It was. It was
see
more
his
the
tweet
post.
though?
Yeah, it was his tweet.
He got
it's like
206 pounds, took a shit, now 205.
Yeah,
you know?
but it was like, what was he saying beforehand? Like, there was the speculation, like, there was the talks, like, oh yeah, he might be going to 205 once he splits with Big Cass. And he's there and he's like, oh, like, I weigh like 210, like, fat chance that's going to happen. Mate, I'm not being funny, but that's not how much you weigh.
No.
You weigh so much less than that. You are joking.
Even if he does, it's a TV show, it's not a shoots thing, so
yeah,
he could still weigh 210.
Yeah.
Just Billy was 205.
Yeah.
Like, how many
I'm
people
sorry, but
have they
Undertaker's
had?
not from Death Valley.
Yeah, that's it. Like
people,
people like Tony Nese who are absolutely stacked. He's not 205.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Not, he's not cutting.
No,
cutting for
no,
that, you know.
But is this Enzo's last chance?
Oh, I reckon it's his last chance as an in-ring performer. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe after this, it's managing. But
which he'd be good at. He can talk. But anyway, that's
that's
the pre-show done.
That's 205 Live.
Let's get back onto the main
The main card.
the main card of SummerSlam.
What stood out for you guys? It doesn't have to be in any order. Let's just discuss.
God.
Well, the first half was crap.
Yeah.
Baron getting buried again for Cena.
Cena
Bruce-
not even
Bruce-
caring, cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
Let's have a good time. Let's make the crowd happy. Let's make the kids chuffed. All that stuff.
Rusev losing within 5 seconds.
Just unreal, unbelievable. Like someone like that. Why would you? I understand if you're punishing Corbin, but why having Cena just crush him?
Yeah.
But why on earth would you do that to Rusev? He's done nothing wrong.
What has handsome Rusev done?
Well, I heard again, and I forget, and I should plug whoever it is, and I forget who I read it off. Apparently, this is the way to build up their program.
Yeah, I was reading that earlier.
Yeah.
So it might be as if Rusev's saying it was a fluke win, and
Yeah.
they're going to build the program for a bit further. So
Maybe.
Rusev's money as a baby face.
Yeah. It's,
You know,
He's got that cat angle comedic timing.
He has.
he really
He's
does.
he's likable as well.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
very likeable.
The big thing for me is I have not been a fan of Randy Orton since the Legend Killer gimmick, and now he's only relevant because he was memeified a few like 2 years ago when it was the RKO out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh, it's the super move again." Do you remember the super move? Because there was quite a long period of time where people were kicking out of the RKO.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't the finish anymore. So now suddenly that meme helped to bring him back. Yep, he's on the top of the card.
Yeah.
He's had to deal with facing Mahal several times. Yeah, you take losses against somebody like, you know, when you should be the champion, etc., etc. Here's a quick win. We'll get your finisher over. It's been over since, you know, the past kind of however long on SmackDown. He doesn't need it.
No. But to give you credit,
it's still a draw.
that RKO looked lethal.
It did.
Yeah,
That was like a spike
I
RKO.
was terrified. He took it
Rusev
like
saw
RVD.
it, so-
It did. It was like a spike RKO.
Yeah, he
was
took it like
brutal
RVD
looking.
takes a DDT. Like it looks like you've just been like he's like a cartoon character.
Even if I hated the finish, it looked like a believable finish. Like even if the match was 5 seconds long,
You won't
that
get up from
knocked him out.
that.
He's tweaked his neck. Like,
Yeah, he's not getting up from that.
Yeah, but I mean, do we need to talk about Big Cass and Big Show? No.
The best part of that was Enzo trying to oil himself out, and as soon as he drops, getting the big boot into the face.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the match.
Yeah, but we called a heel turn last week and we were way off, weren't we? But
yeah, but I'm saying that when we were watching it live, I did call he was getting big booted in the face.
I was hoping it would be as he drops.
Yeah, like swinging from the cage. Yeah. But I mean, the backstage must have been Vince, especially must have been laughing his ass off watching that. Look at that idiot dangling from the cage in his underwear.
Natalia, I'm happy. I think Natalia's fantastic. She can't talk for shit, but she's in my work. I think she deserves a run with the title.
Yeah, she's worked hard for this.
She has. 100%.
Just 1 second. Benoit, our cat, is trying to get in the room and making some noise. He's like our show mascot. So I was going to try and ignore him now, but yeah, just a cheap plug for Benoit.
Oh, the irony.
That's just blackball from ever covering any WWE shows.
What about Sasha Banks? 4-time?
4-time, is it?
Yeah, she's
4-time.
4-time champion, but every time she wins it, she loses it in her first defence.
Was this just to get it on her so Nia could win it?
But I'm just wondering if it doesn't make sense. Before this match, it was showing they've been building No Mercy, and Alexa Bliss is
I saw
that poster child. So next week on Raw, it's supposed to be Sasha versus Alexa. So I'll piss myself if it's 4 times she's won it, 4 times she's lost it.
And she can never defend her title. She can only win it.
Yeah.
I think in the long term plan is to get it on Nia Jax, isn't it? That's the long term plan. Big monster heel.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Nia.
Yes.
I said last time as well. If she made a fucking stable with the Good Brothers, with
Gallows and Anderson.
Gallows
They
and
do a lot of
Anderson.
stuff backstage.
That's
though.
what we're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you really get the impression like they're actually friends.
Yeah.
And they like, because they're bigger than everyone else, they like just picking on people.
Yeah.
More of that. That's what I want.
And she's we met her, didn't we, Kate? She's a lovely woman as well.
Yeah.
Very lovely woman.
So when Jamie was meeting her, I had the surprise of seeing wetness come out of his bum. He had a
True story.
big wet patch. I can put this on our Twitter so you can all see.
The photo exists, people.
Yeah, the photo exists.
Yeah.
Jamie got a bit excited when he met Nia Jax, but
Yeah, nothing to do with the rain outside and me leaning up against the wet wall, but you know.
But no, she was great.
She loved, and a very beautiful woman, might I add.
Hence Jamie getting excited.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why her entrance focuses on her eyes and her face. She's a pretty lady.
Benoit is now climbing the door.
Oh my god, he is.
Take a picture.
Take a picture. We'll put this on the Instagram. What is he doing? He's
going
living up to the name Benoit.
Flying
I think
headbutt.
he's trying to get into killers. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Flying headbutt.
with that dedication.
And just talking about the women, I really want to see a Bayley heel turn. People go, what Sasha Banks turning heel?
A few people.
I want to see. I think Bayley could pull it off because she's getting a lot of boos now.
She is.
Could
And she's
Bayley
boring as
turn on
fuck.
Sasha? You know.
Also,
She's boring as hell.
I just want to say this. Credit to my partner for pointing this out. Monday was the American eclipse. Why on earth didn't Ember Moon crash the title
That's a
celebration?
missed chance.
We were on about it. In the pub.
Why did that not
mention
happen?
this.
Ember Moon coming out, she didn't win the NXT title, she can't beat Asuka, right, move her up, have her crash and deliver the eclipse.
Unless the
Boom,
On
there
the
is-
eclipse.
There is your eclipse.
But,
Yeah.
but we didn't know about the injury at that time, so unless that was the
No,
plan.
but
because
I don't even care if she didn't
But-
get injured. Why didn't she come on?
Yeah,
It's on the eclipse.
Then it's like
but-
then it's like the NWO, like NXT invading the main roster. You've got Bobby Roode coming up, but he still appears in NXT. You've got Ember Moon appearing on Raw, then going back down to NXT to feud for the title still.
Unless they keep her in NXT for another 20 odd years, they've missed that chance.
Yeah, that's it. How often are eclipses? They're not very
They're
often.
not that often. And you can't bring her up on a partial eclipse.
What's an eclipse? I don't sleep. I don't know what an eclipse is.
So thoughts on the return of the Demon King?
I liked it. I didn't like the fact that it was advertised that it was going to be the Demon King. I would have liked him to have come out as the demon and Bray Wyatt be all shocked and because we thought he was going to come out as like a demon Bray Wyatt, didn't we, at the start of the.
Like he did the smoke and mirrors thing, and you couldn't really see what was going on, and we thought we could see like weird dreads and stuff, but obviously that's just a headdress that he wears when he comes out. It statistically, like financially, we understand why they needed to promote him as the demon because they need to shift tickets, they need to get people in the seats, and if people are like, oh, we get to see Demon Balor, yeah, that's going to be amazing because that's going to help sell the pay-per-view, but for me, Big 4 pay-per-view, make him be the demon.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I agree. We said this, didn't we? Yeah.
But it's like what he did in NXT at the takeovers. You could have it where you guess what he comes out as. Like with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Every WrestleMania he was dressed as a different superhero. Have it where he's a different horror character. He's done it multiple times before. He's been Jack the Ripper. He's been Freddy Krueger. You know, he's been Venom. He's been all these different characters. And it adds another element as well because it's almost like he's multiple personality. He's drawing from every one of these fictional characters to fuel the demon inside of him. So like you could even like develop that as part of his character.
Yeah.
Personally, he should just be the demon 24/7. I'm sorry, but
No.
I thought you'd disagree with that. I thought you'd see it as like a way. You don't give him it every week. You save him for the pay-per-views. Make people want to see him.
I want to see that every week.
It's one of those where I think the Finn Balor character's just got quite stale since his return. He's not really done too much. When he was in the programme with Elias Sampson, I thought Elias Sampson was the one that looked like the star in that.
Elias Sampson is a future star.
I am a Finn Balor fan, but I've just not enjoyed what he's done since he's come back onto the main roster.
That's fair enough.
Just to throw it all aside, I think we all walk with Elias, don't we? On this
We all walk
on this
with
podcast.
I prefer a Finn Balor heel turn.
It'll happen at some point.
I think that's Finn Balor as a heel is the only way I think I'd enjoy his character as Finn Balor because other than that he's generic. Sorry, but I don't find it cool that he pops.
Don't be sorry, man. It's your opinion.
The
That's
fact
why
that
we're here.
a lot of people are like, oh, he's so cool popping up his collar of his leather jacket.
He is cool popping up his collar in his leather jacket.
Yeah, but
That's
I
Katie
that's not even
Johansson
up for
for your
debate.
hate tweets for all you football fans. So,
Kate Johansson 93.
93.
Yeah,
I mean, who?
no, I am a fan of it, but I'm just got bored.
But did the right man win? Because there's no way Wyatt was beating him as the demon, was there? You know.
No.
No, if they are sticking with the demon being like just for pay-per-views and stuff, it could be a case of he's always unbeaten as the demon.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to get the demon gimmick over. Like, it's not just a visual thing. It's no, he taps into this unfathomable kind of inner power and can overcome, because he did the same thing when he beat Rollins at last SummerSlam. You know, to win the title initially. You know, but then it doesn't explain how he beat Roman Reigns on his debut to become the number one contender.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Like he's maybe mishandling. I think we can all agree that there's a degree of mishandling with him.
Yeah, and I think that's why they probably won't. Probably why they maybe shouldn't go week in, week out as a demon.
I wouldn't like it if it was weekly.
I don't think they can.
I'd be bored if it was weekly.
Yeah.
I don't think it would, because if they did an extension to his persona as the demon, then it could be like Undertaker or it could be like Bray Wyatt, but I just don't think they can write for that, because they're struggling for Bray as it is. Never mind with
Exactly.
second.
I don't know if they can write dark characters anymore, and if they
Can't
can't,
write shit at the minute.
Bring back Vince Russo.
that's not true.
Alright, they can write some shit, but not a lot of shit.
Fair.
Tag title match, because we want to get through these SummerSlam fallout. Ambrose Rollins,
Good.
Cesaro.
Good match.
Good match.
Crowd absolutely annoying.
We'll discuss soon.
Cesaro should have hit him over the
Yeah.
head with a beach ball before ripping it up.
Totally
But
agree.
To be fair,
Right team won.
right team won, because the reaction you got from the fans as well showed how invested they were.
Yeah.
Like, they were so invested. It was
So
a reaction they're not getting.
how long do you run with it though? Because I'm sensing an Ambrose heel turn down the line. Maybe a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I'd run.
Just my opinion.
I'd run from for a little.
Oh yeah, I think they'll run with it for a while. I think they'll run with it for a while. Definitely.
You've got two former world champions in a tag team.
Yeah.
They ain't losing those titles
No.
anytime soon.
No.
And
But
Watch them lose that.
Unless we discussed Authors of Pain, didn't we, earlier? Maybe they're the team that will eventually come up and...
But even then, though, it'd have to be shenanigans. Like, you can't... Like, or maybe... Oh, God, the umpteen possibilities for it happening. But it saddens me to see Cesaro losing the titles. The two of them, match made in heaven.
Yes.
More of that, please, because they're just absolutely amazing.
Watch them go back to a best out of 7
Oh,
singles
God.
matches.
But I think we can all agree, the beach ball thing, yeah.
Fucking morons.
I'll save my opinions for when
We'll discuss that.
put that in our free count.
Yeah, but
so
Cesaro, I'm gonna buy you a beer when I next see you, because that is, if I ever saw grabbing the brass ring, that is exactly what he was doing
Hell yes.
at SummerSlam.
Hell yes.
Just
guaranteed, like Triple H, Vince McMahon would have been pissing themselves.
Yeah.
In Gorilla, like at the amateurs. The fact that he just ran in there, grabbed it, and fucking tore it up. And like,
immediate heel here, all the smarks immediately siding with him. You've got a clear divide.
He got a big cheer.
He becomes a tweener.
Yeah.
He attacked the beach ball and became a tweener. What more can you say about that?
US title match.
Do you not like
I
it?
think it
Kyle?
was the best match they've had.
Yeah, best
But
match
I just
they've
felt
had,
that they don't seem to have
um,
chemistry. You would expect them to have chemistry.
I think they do have chemistry,
I don't
but
think they do.
it's the story that's been told. There isn't much of it until this match.
You know,
Before it's just, let's trade the title back and forth with no real substance. But now you've got the involvement of Shane, which adds something to it.
we should have put a shot game how many times Shane took a bump.
But what comes out of it now is that we might get Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, which just does not excite me.
No.
No.
And I'm a Kevin Owens mark, we all know that, but I'm with you. I don't know. I don't think Shane needs to wrestle. On a side note, can Shane get some medical, advice, because he sweats a lot and he's puffing and he's red,
He's not quite Lesnar levels, but
no.
He can go in the ring. Like his match with AJ
He's
Styles
a great
brilliant. It was really good, but I don't know if I needed to see
And
it.
he's in better shape than Kevin Owens.
No, that's true, but you've positioned him to be an authoritative figure.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the past few years, they've established a very clear hierarchy where the only person ever who should take off their jacket and lace up their boots is Triple H, because he used to be able to go, he can still go, and he is a fucking mountain of a man. If there was ever anybody in the authoritative position that you didn't want to piss off, it was Triple H, because he'd go, right, I've had enough, I'm going to batter you myself. They've messed that up.
But
it's nice to see Shane involved in matches, he's a special guest ref, but
the way they do it with Shane is people have that impression, you're Shane McMahon, you're not a wrestler, I'd kick your ass. Styles had that impression, but then they did it where actually he's got his respect. The way he battered himself with The Undertaker, like, to be fair, in a shoot fight as well, I'd put Shane McMahon trains, he does all his mixed martial arts. Shane McMahon had knocked Kevin Owens out.
You trying to get a job?
Yeah, but I
SmackDown's lead creative writer over it.
I genuinely feel that like I don't mind seeing him wrestle. Like he looks more the part than Kevin Owens.
Right.
And on the side, because we'll discuss it in a few minutes.
That's Kurt's bold claim.
It's looking like Styles' his next opponent will be Baron Corbin, but we'll discuss that when we get to SmackDown.
Discuss that.
Jinder, Shinsuke.
Big match Jinder.
Big match Jinder. He's growing on me. I wasn't sure at first with this whole thing.
Do you want to take this one since you're the biggest Jinder fan in the world?
Guy's growing on me.
The modern day Maharaja. Nah, the best man won. Well, not the best man. Not the best man.
Remember, send tweets to what's his name?
Kate Johansson 93.
But no, not the best man, but the right man. I don't think Shinsuke's.
It looks like the feud's carrying on though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't think he was ready just to win it just then.
No.
I think Jinder's done brilliant.
I'm liking it now. He's growing on me. I was not for it at first, but I'm liking it.
He looks the part.
He looks the part. He's really. You can see how serious he's taking it.
I've enjoyed him as champion more than when Ambrose had the belt, when Owens had the Universal title. Barring the stuff with Jericho, because Jericho was what made that entertaining. But I think has carried himself as a main champion. I think he's done better than a lot of previous champions. And he looks $1 million bucks.
And thanks to the gods above, we didn't see Great Khali again. So.
I mean, there was. I mentioned to the guys before we sat down to watch SummerSlam. I saw kind of like a backstage vignette of Mahal training on the WWE YouTube channel, and it was this kind of like impassioned thing about how he understood the position that he was in. And he realised like his past mistakes, and he talked about being dropped from the company, and how he wasn't in a good place mentally and physically, and how he's pushed himself, and he's trained harder, and he's become the best he's ever been, and all this other stuff. All the while it's him training and sweating buckets in a gym, and it just like that's the kind of like secondary level, like behind the scenes stuff that you see from legitimate champions, like from the road to recovery stuff that you saw with Rollins, like the stuff that Lesnar was doing, that Angle was doing, that Triple H and The Rock was doing. It's that adds a whole other facet behind just the Maharaja character. It's like, oh no, him as a person, he understands the position he's in, and you go,
mad respect for it.
Yes, 100%. 100%. He's carrying the weight of that title,
and 1 billion people of India.
1.3
billion.
3 billion.
So those three that he left out, Kate Johansson.
You're about to get how much? 300 million tweets.
Hey, if that brings them to the 1-4 pod, bring it on.
Main event, because this was just ridiculous.
I love this match.
Meltzer's giving it a 4.75.
No.
Yes.
So it's almost a 5-star match.
See, so that's why I don't listen to Dave Meltzer.
No, 6.
I'm sorry. Meltzer's give about 10 5-star matches this year for New Japan. I'm sorry.
On the Johansson rating system?
I think it'd be 5. At least.
Oh right, I thought you were just gonna give it less.
No, I'm thinking Meltzer's undercut.
Oh right,
yeah.
Meltzer won't give WWE 5-star.
I agree.
Meltzer's undercut the match.
It's been years since Meltzer gave a 5-star for the Fed.
Yeah.
That match.
He didn't even give Cena and Styles like.
When was the last 5 stars? Was it Taker Michaels at Mania 25? Or did you give one since then?
He just doesn't like giving them out. Did he give Ric Flair Shawn Michaels one?
He did, didn't he? Or was it
I can't-
4.75? It was. I know
It was close.
Yeah.
It was close. But
Taker Michaels WrestleMania 25 was his last 5-star, wasn't it? I'm sure it was for WWE.
If
I think so,
Fatal
yeah.
4-Way
First
took
one.
place
Yeah.
in Japan, that would have got a 5-star
Yeah.
match. Yeah,
Or-
it has
Pete-
to be in
yeah.
Japan for
Or
Dave.
Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate from Chicago. That didn't get a 5-star.
And that
if
was
that was
fucked.
if that was
Untouchable.
If anything was worth a 6.25 that he seems to just throw
That's
out.
still my favourite match of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine as well.
Yeah.
Mine as well, hands down.
Yeah.
Well, because it wasn't in the G1
Yeah.
climax and it wasn't.
Because Omega wants sucking his dick. Yeah.
Well, even though it's just any match in New Japan, he'll
Yeah.
put over. But so yeah,
Match
regarding the
itself.
4.75 match, whatever Dave Meltzer thought of that's irrelevant. Is just a fan like
Yeah.
really. It's a
Are
matter
we all
of
in
It's his
opinion.
agreement that Strowman came out this looking like a ginormous
Within the
megastar?
first 5 minutes, he looked like a megastar. He
Yeah.
was already a star in the making, but that made him a megastar.
And he's organically over,
Yeah.
not thrown on your throat
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's just the way he picks up Lesnar, puts him through one table, picks him up, puts him through
Yeah.
another. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, now I'm bored of this. Let's flip the fucker on.
Yeah.
again.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, I think the thing that I marked out over the most was, oh look, Joe's got someone in the cocaine clutch. Oh no, wait, off his chair at the head.
Yes.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Oh, Strowman just launched an office chair at them
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere, like off screen. Absolutely awesome. One of the most unusual objects I think I've ever seen used as a weapon.
It got some distance
Yeah.
on it.
And they're not light as well, are they? You
No,
know, to
no,
pick
that's
that
it.
and launch it
Yeah,
like
like,
that.
and I don't think there's a safe way to like protect yourself from that
You
kind
just
of.
take
Just
the
get
hit.
fucking
You
clobbered.
just take the hit.
That's
To be
it.
fair, I thought Joe was quite quiet in that match.
Yeah, he came out looking the weakest.
Yeah,
I think
it
it was
was.
I think it was a case. Like everybody knows, like even probably in real life, as shoot, Joe would be quite an handy guy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Oh yeah.
In terms of looking as a specimen, he doesn't look like Lesnar, Strowman, or Reigns
No.
does. So I think what they've done in the building of this is Joe's weapon is the Kina clutch. That's
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
to kill his heels. So that's why you saw him try and do that 4 or 5 times because
Yeah.
if it goes down to a battle of strength, he
He-
isn't going to come out on top as much. He might
Yeah.
get like a decent offense, but ultimately they'd come out on top.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's why they tried.
Yeah.
I would have loved for him to try and get the Coquina in Strowman, be like, what are you doing? And then just like toss him over his shoulder and be like, be done
Yeah,
with.
it could, or like, I mean, I called it as well when he got Lesnar in it. Lesnar reversed it into the F5, but I understand where you're coming from with like the size game. He's not got the body. He's not a body guy, but he is he's a big, fast guy, and I think they're leaning into the Randy Orton sneakiness because it was like, oh, someone's there, and then suddenly he'd slip under the bottom rope. And he's
Coquina
on him, and he's
clutch
on
out of
him.
nowhere.
The clutch is on.
Yeah.
What? We've just seen a slew of suplexes, body slams, power slams, Superman punches, all these hard hitting moves, and then suddenly, boom! There's a submission. He's going for the submission. He's an MMA style fighter. He's got the shorts. He's got the look.
Yeah.
He's a striker. It leans into that so much. You've got Lesnar, a legit fighter. You've got two big powerhouses, and then you've got Joe, who is in the same ilk as Lesnar. So you've got this, and that's and that's another thing as well. That's something that they never played into with Great Balls of Fire. Joe's got the Muscle Buster. I doubt he's going to get anyone except maybe Reigns in the Muscle Buster out of all 4 of those guys. But Lesnar's got the Kimura Lock.
Yes.
They never played into a submission versus submission because Lesnar, since he's come back, they've played him off. He's the beast. He can just lift anything. He's not the strongest guy because Strowman showed that.
But that was saved for SummerSlam though, because he tried getting Strowman into it.
Yeah.
He did.
It was nice to see.
Side note, here's a claim: Samoa Joe next to the Continental Champion.
No, I think he's going to be feuding with John Cena rather than Miz.
That's just my bold claim. Next IC champ.
Nobody should beat Miz for that belt.
Well, I agree, but if anyone's going to, I bet you it's Joe.
Miz is the personification of
Just
the
talking
IC.
about the main event as well, though.
Agreed.
Reigns taking the pin.
Yeah. I did
in the
actually
middle.
think that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the plans from what I read are still Reigns, Lesnar, WrestleMania. I read a couple of days.
Honestly, the
Yeah.
more pins that Reigns eats, the
Yeah.
less Smacks are gonna hit him. Not
Yeah.
that I give a shit what Smacks think.
But they know
But
everything.
it's or anybody thinks it's just it makes sense from a booking point of view too that Reigns would eat that pin.
Yes.
why wouldn't he? He's in the match with 3 absolute badasses. Someone has to eat the pin.
Yeah.
And
doesn't hurt him.
Going forwards, he's not going to be called like it's like you used to get Super Cena, who won every match, never got pinned. At least Reigns takes the pins.
Yeah, and as you say, like in terms of the hierarchy of who looks strong, Lesnar won. He looks the strongest, so to speak. He's still the champion. Strowman, Joe, they put in great effort. Reigns, he's a multi-time champion. He's a Royal Rumble winner. He has so many accolades. He can eat the pin, and it doesn't affect his popularity, his merch sales, his standing in the power ranks. It was the best decision because I fear that all of the work that went into building Strowman and Joe, if either of those took the pin, that would have hindered them in the future.
Yeah. Whereas Reigns doesn't have anything to lose, like I said.
No, it doesn't hurt him to lose.
Yeah.
Well, on that, our SummerSlam fallout, we're going to take a short break and short word from our sponsors.
And we'll be back with our free count.
Yeah.
And any other news that we've found during the week.
Catch you in 5.
Hey yo, it's the guys from 14 Podcast. We've decided that we are going to start our own Patreon service in the coming months. We're going to kick back, have a few beers, get a bit rowdy, review some classic pay-per-views from the vault. Why not drop us a little message at 14pod, give us some ideas. We may even review your choice. Catch you soon.
Welcome back. We're going to do our 3 count now, which is basically the 3 hot topics that we think throughout the week of wrestling. So let's kick it off with the moronic idiot fans.
So over the week, the fans have been trying to make all the shows about them, doing a lot of
That's it. They're not really acting like fans. It's a real shame. I mean, this certainly isn't the first time that we've seen beach balls or we've had like self-referential chants. You know, but it really seems like after SummerSlam, a lot of stuff has kind of happened in such a short space of time that it would be wrong to not address it.
Yeah, Kurt, you were saying before, like there's actually been 6 incidents this week. What were they?
So there was one where it's just, again, fans trying to make the show about them. During Raw, there was Cena and Reigns, where they was both getting "you both suck" chants. I'm sorry, but they're probably the best 2 workers the company have got. They do not suck. You morons are the ones that suck. Two of the things that really pissed me off what I've read over the weekend is a fan at NXT TakeOver where it was wearing a GFW, so Global Force Wrestling t-shirt, and from numerous NXT fans was getting gestures, bad language, and popcorn, like tubs of popcorn thrown at him just because he's wearing a GFW t-shirt. At the end of the day, they're supporting NXT. He's a wrestling fan.
What wrestling fan?
He's wearing a wrestling shirt.
Wear whatever wrestling t-shirt you want to wear.
That's
you
like
are
being
a
at high
wrestling
school,
fan.
isn't it? It's bully. It's like cliques.
It's absolutely disgusting. Guaranteed, if it was a PWG shirt or a Progress shirt, it'd be like, oh, you're so cool, man.
Yeah.
But just because it's GFW and who it's been affiliated with,
that's not
just
cool.
wrestling fans, you know.
Especially when all those fans that are bullying and mark out when it's the GFW guys that get signed to NXT.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
Are we all
idiots.
supposed to stick together? We're wrestling fans, you know.
It's already hard enough. There's already a stigma in the mainstream about wrestling. Why it's not the Attitude Era anymore. It's not seen as cool because Stone Cold and The Rock aren't there anymore. So we need to stick together. Come on, guys, pull your finger out.
And not just that, though. Like the amount of actual shit that goes on in like the world today.
Yeah.
And wrestling fans have always known of the good. Like if you're a wrestling fan, you'll get along. So none of this
is the first time I've really heard of anything where like one group of fans hate another group of fans. Like even if you like Japanese wrestling, you still respect what WWE's done.
Absolutely.
But then for like the NXT fans, who the Full Sail crowd has been known to be dicks in the past,
self-entitled bastards.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but
it's just the smarts who think they know everything and that they're better than every other fan in the world. And I just find it incredibly disrespectful, especially to the guys in the ring that busting their ass for us every night.
Well, the guy who's paid money trying to enjoy that could have. You don't know where he's come from, so he might have travelled to New York. That might be his first WWE event. Or
he probably felt really shit about that. Yeah.
He's had groups of fans after fans after fans. it makes me, if we do go to WrestleMania, I might just wear a GFW t-shirt just to
that.
try and get some abuse off people.
We'll all do it. We'll all wear GFW t-shirts.
I'll tell them where to fucking
And can I just point out the irony as well, right? GFW, right? It's still, is it still happening inside Universal Studios on the lot there?
Yeah, Orlando.
At Orlando. Full Sail University is at Orlando.
Yep.
So it's like two rival football teams in the same city. Yeah, it's wrestling. It's not football. It's sports entertainment.
It's a TV show for God's sake.
Exactly.
Are you telling me these NXT fans don't go to watch Impact?
Exactly.
Right.
How many of them? Like
I'm
they're
sorry.
both right there.
Yeah.
If you lived in Orlando and you're a wrestling fan,
You
you're
go.
an idiot if you don't go to both of them.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but that could be like
The amount of people that would kill for the opportunity to be at Full Sail,
Don't-
to be at the
don't-
lot at Universal Studios to watch GFW.
it'd be like us going to cinema to watch, say, Batman, and there's somebody sat there in a Marvel t-shirt.
That does
getting
happen. That does happen.
What, you are going to be like, you're a fucking wanker, you shouldn't be here.
That's
It's a different TV show, it's a different... Fucking idiots.
I love the crowd. I love a loud, raucous crowd who are into it, who are chanting, but have some respect.
So the next step of where those, again, idiots, was Sasha Banks' husband was outside the hotel and a fan decided to run up to him and go, "Your wife is a fucking bitch." To Sasha Banks' husband.
Oh,
So
because
where
she
other
won't,
fans...
well,
Yeah, other
because she
fans
wouldn't take a
had
few
to-
photos with fans outside.
Other fans had to grab like the husband to make sure he wasn't
Yeah.
going to kick off because...
Could you blame him if he did?
It would all kick off because some random has gone up to him.
Sasha wouldn't take a photo with me. Ooh.
Well, no, you probably...
Well,
It's
it's
just-
happened.
She doesn't have to.
Yeah,
You know?
there's so many things that play into that as well. At the end of the day, everyone has their own lives. They're probably exhausted. They've probably been asked for photos all day, every day, especially at such a busy event like that, like around this time.
Yeah.
If people don't want to take a photo, just give them their space. Show them some
Absolutely.
respect. They spend
Especially with their schedule.
yeah. They spend their lives entertaining you, and because they wouldn't entertain you right there and then,
In their time.
they're the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Come on, again, grow up.
So again, beach balls were throughout. So Jason Jordan versus Finn Balor on Raw. There was beach balls going about, but then these fans throwing the beach balls are the same ones that will go on the internet and cry that Finn Balor's only in the mid card. Finn Balor's this. Finn Balor should be in the main event.
Not watching his match.
He's not going to be in the main event if you're either more concerned about booing people like Roman Reigns or playing with a fucking beach ball.
Right.
You've experienced
I've
the
said
beach
this to
ball.
you before, Jamie. Like I've been in two Raw After Mania crowds where there's been tons of beach balls. I'll admit, when you're there and the beach balls are being passed around, you're like, this is actually quite cool that I'm in this kind of raucous crowd. There's beach balls. I'm actually witnessing this thing I've seen on TV before. When they're doing all the waves and everything, I joined in. So,
I hate you.
yeah, I was gonna say like, hate me if you want, but when you're there, it's a little different. But this wasn't even WrestleMania. It was the Raw After Mania. This was a SummerSlam, and it was like they were doing it just because they were like, I want to be part of
We
this.
have to take a beach ball now every year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. This is a slippery slope. I understand, right? If you're not having, if you aren't invested in the match, that's a real shame because then that shows that there is an issue with booking and getting a storyline over. But don't boo the performers. It's not their fault. Also, what's to stop you from doing that kind of stuff, like while there's an ad break in between the matches?
Absolutely.
Admittedly, you can't hear the commentary, but I mean, God, like the Fed could even lean into it a little bit and give them like an extra minute between matches while they're setting up the ring and all that kind of stuff, where the crowd can entertain themselves.
Yeah.
Just to get it out of the
Throw
system.
Get it out,
Yeah.
get it out of the system. It's the same thing that they do when everybody's riled up and it's like WrestleMania and then they have a high octane match as the first thing. Like, oh my God, Russell, just get it out of your system early.
Yeah.
And what's more as well, that happened on the post SummerSlam Raw, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year's Raw. It normally only happens the post WrestleMania Raw.
Yeah.
It's happening on the two biggest shows. If this becomes regular, it's going to happen on the big four and then some.
The way I see it is the Raw After Mania is like a purge for wrestling fans where it's you can get everything out of your system on that one show. You can boo Roman Reigns for 10 minutes and that's fine. You can play with your beach balls. You can get everything out of your system. Just don't do it through the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And that
I could buy
yeah,
that.
because
I
it's the
could buy
Raw
that.
After Mania. You expect it to be hostile. You expect shit to go down. But for him to now start doing it through the year, that is disrespectful. And I mean, I sound like a hypocrite now because I have been in both, but I still find it disrespectful. And I did enjoy it when Cesaro ripped up that beach ball.
Oh God, again, grabbing the brass ring, that's what you do. The higher ups will remember that. If they don't, then they're idiots.
Yeah.
It's the minorities following it for the majority.
Absolutely.
It's those smarks who want to be the centre of attention because they know everything better than every other wrestling fan in the world. So let's make it about us.
We're certainly not the first people to bring it up, but we just had to give our 2 cents about it.
Yeah, so carry up to end that as well with the disrespect. So on SmackDown during the women's tag team match, the Brooklyn crowd decided to chant for themselves and was going, "We are awesome."
I
You're
hate
really,
that chant.
really not.
I hate "this is awesome" as much because 9 times out of 10 that's not even like you get this awesome. This is
I think
awesome.
the "This is awesome" challenge is now it's just become too regular now. Everything's "This is awesome."
But
You know.
for "we are awesome," you're not fucking awesome. You're idiots. Like
Yeah, that is one of the worst chants.
We are awesome.
we are awesome.
We are awesome. Why?
You're not awesome.
What have you done? You bought a ticket, well done.
Yeah.
Kind of idiots. Like you go there to watch a wrestling show, but you just
And then you make it all about yourself.
Yeah. Pricks. Backstage heat then.
Backstage heat.
Seems to be a lot of that going around at the minute.
I'm guessing we mean Baron Corbin and Enzo Amore.
Yeah.
So the Enzo one's ongoing. This has been happening for a while. But does anyone know if it's got any worse?
Everyone hates him apparently.
Yeah, even the fans are turning now.
Yeah.
he's not getting as good a reaction as he used to. He's going to 205 Live. So
Well, we touched on this earlier, didn't we? I think we said 205. I think is his last chance now.
yeah, make or break, and I don't even think it's make or break as a wrestler. I think if he fucks up again, they'll just get rid of him. Like he seems to be annoying a lot of people backstage. Like you've got like the Wrestling Observer and PW Insider all reporting about different things of what Enzo's doing, and even just some of the stuff he's posting on social media. Like when there was the rumours of 205 Live and it was practically a dig at 205 Live. But now this time it's like I took a shit, so now I've gone from 206 to 205.
Yeah.
Literally shitting on.
It's like he's trying to get himself fired. You know, it's. I think.
All we can hope for is that Neville absolutely decimates him. If he thought Big Cass was a problem, Neville will kill him.
How's he gonna? I'd be hopefully he'll surprise us and do well, but I can't see him matching anybody's in-ring talent.
No, he's not a power. He's not like a tiny pit bull like Neville, who's a powerhouse.
He's more like a chihuahua on the microphone.
That's it. He's not a technical wizard like Daniel Bryan or Dean Malenko. It's just he's so outclassed going to 205. 205 is a roster of people who, despite their limitations in their size and and they can do incredible things. They can do these flips, these acrobatics, these submissions, the speed, the grace that they can do these things is incredible.
What's Enzo's finisher?
I don't know.
Oh,
exactly.
It's a tag team finisher with Big Cass.
Right. So what's he going to do now?
His finisher is to get his head kicked off his shoulders usually.
That's what I mean. They might be going because he's going in that division, and that'll be him away from kind of like the main roster sort of things. I don't know. It could surprise us. It might be a case of they just enjoyed seeing him get ragdolled a lot.
I hope it does surprise us because nobody wants to see anybody get fired or.
And I want to like Enzo.
Yeah,
I just don't like this incarnation of Enzo.
Yeah.
No.
So Baron Corbin as well. Like, sure, there's been things where he supposedly started disagreeing with Dave Meltzer online, and then
I've heard a lot of his tweets have got him in trouble, and apparently rumour Cena doesn't think he's ready for that position yet.
I just can't see Cena saying that nowadays.
I get rumour that
I mean, I'm sure it's just a rumour and there might be some truth behind it. But Cena seems very focused on building instead of burying nowadays.
Yeah. But I think it seems to be a lot of his social media stuff that's got him a lot of hate. Like,
well, the thing is, though, if he's in trouble, if you watch SmackDown, it looks like there's going to be him and Styles for the US title, so it's not a major punishment because he's still in a title picture if that's the way it's going.
Yeah, but it's still a big punishment.
And it's a chance for him to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
I like Corbin. I hope.
Same.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of in-ring performance, he's outclassed by AJ.
Yes.
But again, though, it's like, well, who do you put him with? I guess it seems weird that
AJ will probably make Corbin look the best he's ever looked.
Yeah, and that's an unusual thing as well with that whole, like John Cena saying, like the position that he's in. What position? If he's lost the Money in the Bank, and he lost clean to Cena, he might as well have just started on the main roster as a nobody.
He's back at square one.
He's back at square one. The only thing that he's got is his height, and I mean, I think he's got a decent roster for a tall guy who isn't built. Like his moveset is impressive, and I like his signature moves, which again kind of harks back to what I was saying before about having unique moves, especially with someone like AJ. He goes for a deep six, he's gonna backflip out of it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you're like, oh, that was awesome.
Or even end of days, AJ flips out of it.
Yeah, stuff like that. You're like, yeah, love it. More of that. If anything,
Into a Styles Clash.
Yeah.
how is he going to Styles Clash a 6'7" guy?
He'll find a way.
We can just tease.
Corbin is huge. I was ringside for an NXT show before, and it doesn't do him justice on TV. He is a mountain of a man.
Yeah. We went to see SmackDown Live not long ago. It's terrifying because you just
not
don't
just
realise.
height as well.
He's a broad guy.
He's a broad guy.
He did used to play football.
He did, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a small guy by any means. I'm 6 foot tall, and I'm just petrified.
He is a mountain of a man. He's huge.
So if they're putting him into even if it was just a short program with AJ, if anything, it's going to shut the haters up because it'll show. Even if he gets pinned repeatedly, he can put on a decent, solid framework for a match and probably a multi-week program with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to win the title, but maybe him just going over, satisfying this whole heel face thing that they've got going now that AJ is in a position where he's the cool, like kind of smarmy face, still a bit of a tweener. He's going to lean into that a bit more, might help to save him and put him back in the good graces of McMahon.
Yeah.
Could repair some of the damage that's been done.
Possibly, yeah.
So next one, and I discussed this a while ago with you guys, NXT potentially creating a secondary title.
Probably the most interesting one because we have discussed before between ourselves a mid-card title in NXT, and I said at the time I don't think it's a good idea because if you're in NXT, your goal should be to win the NXT title, progress to the main roster. If you're the mid-card in the development in NXT, what does that say about you and your position on NXT?
Obviously,
but it's build up the mid card so they go for the NXT title.
Yeah, but how long are you intending to spend in NXT?
Well, it might be a case like we've always seen mid carders go up to the main roster from NXT to the main roster. So I don't know, it could work. Like again, initially I was against it as well, like for the same reasons as you, Callum. But I think the way they're trying to portray NXT at the moment, especially if they do this rumoured superstar shake-up and put guys from the main roster down to NXT, they might be trying to make it where it is actually a fair brand. And if that's the case, especially with the amount of people they've got, potentially like a network champion or...
We said that yesterday,
an
NXT network champion.
Yeah, that would be
a modern day TV title.
Yeah, it would be,
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. Totally for it.
I think if they lent into the idea of NXT being not a gateway onto the main roster, but as a solid, comparable third brand, people like Kevin Owens coming up onto Raw, was it Raw?
Yeah.
Against Cena. While he was the NXT champion, he's there. He's answering the open challenge. He's got the gold right there on his shoulder. Thousands of people in attendance can see it. Thousands of people at home can see it. Millions, in fact. That's the kind of stuff that you need. If it's going to help generate some cross promotion, I'm all for it. The last thing that I want though is for it to just kind of relegate, to some of those people that deserve more of an opportunity, and it just becomes a toy title.
I'm hope NXT will always be the third brand though. Like even if it is seem to be kind of equal, like it's cool they're doing their own thing, but I think everybody that will be on there will still want to go on Raw or SmackDown just because of the prestige that it brings to it. But I think it could work if they do a mid-card title. I think they might need one because of all the talent they've got now. Like
there's pros and cons, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm all for it, except that they're recruiting a lot of talent You got a lot of guys on the roster. Give them something to wrestle.
I think as long as
you've got some of the you got UK title that can do some stuff.
I kind of class that as an NXT title now. Since it
Yeah.
doesn't have an official.
And the exciting thing for me as well, if you create a mid-card title, maybe get a tournament to crown him. So you've got a
Tournament role is good.
yeah, exactly.
I think as long as the title means something.
Yeah.
As long as you can look at the title and go, okay, it's not necessarily a mid-card title, but if it's a network title, you know this guy is like defending his title every week. You're going to see him like
if they went that rule where it is every week, like the old TV titles used to be.
The workhorse title, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
I know that's the IC title officially, but like it was just this guy who would show up every single week, defend his title, and I think that's appealing. Maybe NXT could have something like that for the younger guys to prove themselves.
Yeah.
It also make the matches mean something. So with the way NXT shoots, they have some random singles matches. So like they've been doing Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan having some great matches together. Yeah,
Fantastic
that's great,
matches together.
What happens to the guy who wins? So at least if there's this NXT network championship,
like a ranking sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, FCW used to have a title called the FCW 15 Championship, which was every match has a 15-minute time limit. So there were very fast-paced matches, and I think that could even work, an NXT 15 Championship. And it was held by Seth Rollins, I believe. There was some other main eventers who are around now who held it, and it was basically that idea of these matches are 15 minutes long, they're always going to be fast-paced, entertaining, and usually moved up to the FCW Championship afterwards. Maybe that's what NXT needs.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you could even like have it where there's but not a stipulation per se, but if you have the title, you are immediately granted a shot at the NXT title within 3 months.
Yeah.
Whether you are still the champion or not, because that way that slingshots people into the NXT main event on a regular basis. So like on a pay-per-view, you can have somebody on one card, you could have them lose the title and then challenge for the NXT title in one pay-per-view.
So it's kind of like the Money in the Bank but in title form.
Yeah, so to speak, yeah.
And the way that the X Division Championship is used in TNA.
At Destination, it can still be used. That's a Destination X. Whoever's holding the X Division title can cash in that. So it's like Austin Aries created it before, so he was X Division champion, going for the world title. He had two options: stays X Division champ or go for the world title.
Yeah.
He created what's called Option C. So I'll relinquish it, but everybody else gets this opportunity. Every time at Destination X, if they've got the X Division title, they can relinquish it to have a world title shot. So I think Rockstar Spud did it. He failed in the world title attempt, but he had a good match with Kurt Angle from it. It
adds a whole new level of unpredictability, and it also creates like almost like a sub variation of the Money in the Bank, with the Money in the Bank being an annual thing, and regarding it as such an important thing that like defines a character, and seeing it like be thrown away like and stripped from Corbin, it would certainly excite a lot of casual viewers into wanting to watch NXT for the potential of seeing more unpredictable things happening on NXT.
The way I'd do it would be regarding whoever's champion at a certain takeover, they can cash it in just at that takeover. So I think it should be like a bit like the X Division. So not do it at Brooklyn. That should have a good feud in my opinion. But at another big takeover, maybe one that will be at like say a Royal Rumble. Whoever's that champion can relinquish it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go for the main title. So then you could do that month build, and also on NXT programming do like qualification matches, and could do a ladder match at every takeover near Royal Rumble, like whether it's 4 or 6.
Yeah.
Winner gets this new network championship. Then they're battling that for the full year. Whoever's got the title leading up to the Rumble takeover again has the opportunity to
appear on the network on these events like the Royal Rumble, these special events. So you're holding the network title, you get to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like that would be a similar way that they're treating the UK title with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. Like they were in the UK tournament, their showcase has been NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
For them to battle between each other for the UK title, so it would be a less like kind of inclusive thing. It would open it up to the full NXT roster as opposed to just, oh well, these two guys are from the UK and they're indie darlings, so let's showcase them.
Yeah, I think that works. As long as the title serves a purpose.
Yes.
Back to you.
Yeah,
I never said he's got pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if they did the cash in and it was a network thing, cause I just don't want it to be. If it was a weekly defense, I'd want a storyline behind it.
Yeah.
I don't just want. I don't know. I don't want it just to be match after match after match. I prefer storylines.
Yeah,
We all prefer storylines.
We all like storylines.
We all want a story. We all want to have a reason to be invested. So I like this, yeah. So pros and cons. We like the idea.
I'm warming to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm warming to it.
Callum, yay or nay for the secondary title?
Yes.
I'd go yes. James?
I'd say yes.
I've been yes from the start. Creative must be listening to me. That's what I'm saying.
That must be it.
And on that bombshell, that wraps up our 3 count and this week's show. I'm going to pass it over to the boys to do the plugs.
Yeah, social plugs.
Yeah.
Jamie, you plug yours first.
Twitter, the OWCW. That's it for me because I'm a technophobe. Boys?
For me, James, you can find me on most social media as Roman Oyster, and you can find my Let's Play YouTube channel if you search for Gamers Assemble, and that's me.
For me, so Kurt, that'll be at Kurt Johansson 93 on Twitter. Johansson's JOHANSSON.
And for me, Callum, you can find me at Palace of Wisdom on Twitter, and you can find us, the One Fall Podcast, on Twitter at One Fall Pod, Facebook One Fall Pod, Instagram One Fall Pod, believe it or not. You can email us at onefallpod@gmail.com, and as of this week, we're now available on iTunes and anywhere podcasts are provided. So whatever you use, you'll be able to find One Fall Pod somewhere.
Woo!
Yeah.
Like us, dislike us, give us your opinions, argue with us.
Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That's important.
Send us any questions, any queries, or any opinions that you want to hear from us. And you never know, we might end up bringing it up on next week's episode.
If you agree or disagree with anything, probably disagree with a lot of what I've said again.
If you disagree, tweet Kurt.
At Kurt Johansson, get it on my way. But yeah, thank you for listening, guys.
I'll see you next time.
Thank you. We are One Fall Podcast. Peace.